there's certain things that we see as photographers over and over and over again, and they're beautiful photographs and they're well crafted and they're amazing. But it's always that one little thing that's like that personal photographer's vision that really attracts me. So like, I love seeing you exert your own vision upon a photograph and try different techniques and mash things together and see what happens. And that's pushing photography forward. It's very important for me. So that's kind of my mentality behind it, of selecting photographs. There's some beautiful, amazing photographs. That's the collection. And then 1, 2, or 3 are those things that just separate them, those little tiny things that separate them, the little details. So that's kind of the way I went into this, putting this collection together and then selecting the best of that collection. So I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat, you guys. So if something pops in, I'll try to keep an eye on it. And also, is it Bruce? Where's I don't see where everybody is. Or Alyssa, if you see something.
Yeah.
Bruce is the Lone Tree Photo Club.
Oh, okay. I was looking for his name and I didn't.
Yeah, if we see something that pop in, I'm just muted.
Perfect.
Okay.
So how's it going, Alyssa? You good?
I sent you a list, so that might be going to be helpful to you or not. They're not by, it's not, you might be able to sort it by category for yourself, the Excel spreadsheet that I sent you. But I'll try to go ahead and, as I put the image up, let you know who it is. So, okay, so we're going to start with architecture.
Of course, you send me an Excel sheet that I have to put my. I can barely see this close. Getting old, it's awesome. And I'm looking over here because I have a second screen, so I'm not ignoring you guys.
Okay, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Salvador Armendariz. And this is one in architecture.
I just love this. It's a newish technique and I really enjoyed it. And for architecture, it was just something a little bit different that pushed the envelope of what we were looking at for some of the other stuff. And I just love we've seen it, but I love the way that they blended it all together. It really looks like one big photograph, and it's just a beautiful, the colors. I'm really drawn to color theory, and I think this really brings you through the photograph in a way, not only with the bridge going up into the photograph, but also the color tones from cool to warm. I think that really was what drew me to this photograph. So cool, thanks, Alyssa. Let's go on to the next one. Pull up my chat so I can see it. Oh yeah, for submissions, how many submissions did we have overall?
So total was 314, and we selected, I think it was 52 originally, and then just due to rescheduling, there was several that couldn't participate. So now we're at 43 total images.
Yeah. So this is Tom's, right? I think this is Tom's.
Yep, Tom Haywood.
This is always, this is a gorgeous photo, the way he's composed this and the sky that's in there, and just the color tones and things like that. The technical quality really drew me. This was a stunning photo in person. The print of it was beautiful. I'm trying to pull away from doing things that we've seen a lot of, like barns. You guys know me, Tom knows me. I've said this a million times. I'm not going after Tom or anything like that, but a barn in the middle of a field and stuff like that. But the level that he did this at was just beautiful. So, and it really struck me as a little bit a step above of some of the other ones that we had up on the collection and stuff like that. It's just a beautiful photograph. In fact, the image on my screen doesn't do it justice. It was just a rich photo in person, and it looked really beautiful. So cool. Thanks, Alyssa.
This is Paul Malenkowski's.
Yeah, this just, I just love when you're trying to do something different. I'll say that over and over again. I love messing with your viewers' minds and like really putting elements together to really make a stunning photograph. And just the usage of positive and negative and color and then repetition, which really draws people. This just stood out as pushing architecture photographer a little bit further, a little bit different. So I really, really love this one. So.
And this is Joe Raises.
Yeah. And just, I'm always looking for not only pushing things, but emotion and storytelling. And just the simple fact of how they expose this photograph and the sky, it really has some emotion to it. And that's what, it could just be a picture of the Eiffel Tower, but those clouds, the way they expose, you know, a darker exposure and stuff like that, it just has a story to it. And, you know, I'm not defining the story, but it definitely says something to me. And it's evoking an emotion from me. And that's always important in my photography, that I don't really care what emotion I evoke from you, but I want to evoke something. So like, that's what this photo is doing. It has an emotional quality to it that I really enjoy.
This is, I think, Barbara Rogers, this piece.
Nice. And this just, I love the painterly quality of it. It just was a little bit something to it that drew me to it. I love, and actually the print itself has a really nice blue tone to it that draws you. So that color theory is really, really cool in it, where these warm tones are like pushing out towards you, so it gives it depth, and then that blue tone is drawing you back into it. And if you guys know me, I love being drawn into a photograph. I love the depth. If you can create it, that's I love that, because it's a two-dimensional piece of artwork, but if you can create depth with composition, color, tone, anything, that's what wins me over. So that's why I selected this one. It's really nice. So.
Is this Philip Rubino's?
Yeah, and we talked about this one, Alyssa. I just like, this is just black and white at its best. Like, I just really controlled tones, but man, they are crisp and clean. And then those three different textures, the smooth texture of the snow, and then that next texture of the masonry, and then that next texture of the museum brick. And it just really, it evokes emotion. That, you know, that's what black and white's great at, texture and emotions. And there's just this kind of grittiness to it that really is interesting, and it really drew me to this one. So.
That was not in the show. All right.
That was in the show, wasn't it?
That wasn't. Oh yeah, it was. Sorry.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Sorry. I will go back. It's hard to remember with so many people that pulled out. Right.
So sad. Dang COVID. We had some amazing photographs, you guys. They were awesome.
Sorry. This is William Wojcicki.
Yeah. So this one is the flip side of Phillips, is that this one uses color, and it's very playful with color, and the reds and the yellows and the cool tones all kind of draw you all over it. And I think that creates a little bit of depth, because it is shot with a longish lens, so it's kind of compressed. So you have to use another element to create depth into it. Otherwise, it just looks all smashed up together. So like, I love these little blast of color, and then the cool tones kind of receding into the background to pull you that way. So this one's just really playful, and I also love long lenses like this, compressing things and shapes and all the compositional squares and all those things coming together. They really placed everything really nicely, so I like this one.
Okay, so that is the architecture group. Do you want to talk about the first, second, and third place in there, and just a little bit more about why they stood out, Eric?
Do you want me to?
I don't know.
Does everybody want? Yeah, we can see if it gets boring, just yell at me. So like I said, that architecture is that first place one. I'll start with first place, because that one just drew me. It was something so out of, it still felt like a picture of architecture, but it had this artistic quality to it that was very cool, and I really liked that. So and I'm never going to deviate. I like different. You guys know that of me. I want you to push your vision upon your photography, and I think that's super important. But yeah, that one drew me right away. I thought that was so interesting, and I mean, you guys walk into the gallery. If you see it, it's going to draw you. Did I just bounce off, or am I still okay?
No, I was going to put the photo back up, the second place or first place. Sorry.
I mean, if we put all three of those photos together, this one's going, the red, the composition is just going to draw you instantly. You're going to be like, what is that? How is that way? It's just super, it just draws you visually, I think. So, and it has an emotion to it. It has like almost an anger and a coolness to it. I mean, it's just interesting to me. So, and then if you want to go, I can't remember which one was second. Was it Tom's? I think it was the barn.
It was Tom's.
And Tom's is just a tour de force in quality and technical ability. So that's just, I mean, you can't deny that. It just rose above some of the other landscape photographs that we had that were in that nature of the powerful, iconic landscape photograph. But this one just, the quality and the technical skill of it was pretty impressive. So that's why this one rose to that second place.
And third place was, why am I not remembering?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head too. Sorry.
I'm gonna open this up real quick.
It was the Golden Gate Bridge.
Golden Gate Bridge. Thank you. Thank you.
Took me a second. I had to literally walk back how we were going through,
I know,
like visually walk through it again. So.
All right. There we are.
Yeah, and this one just had this, super very sharp, great quality, and then just taking that one step with technology a little bit further to give us a little bit of a story within the photograph. I think it was just very well done. We talked about it a little bit, even that little transition, which you can barely see, but about where Don is cutting, he actually cut it, and instead of having the long exposure go all the way across the bridge, it actually cuts into like solid cars. So I thought that was pretty cool too. It's just a nice little storytelling piece of artwork, right? In one piece. It's like night to day. It's kind of cool. So
yeah.
And it's stunning. I mean, like the colors, beautiful. So beautiful, beautiful.
Okay. All right, so let's move on to astrophotography. Do you want me to, if I can, I can try. I was gonna say I can try to go first, second, third, and then everybody else in the category. Does that sound like that would work?
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, let's do that.
Well, let me do that.
Of course, you're gonna put one of the controversial ones up. Thanks.
All right, so this is first place. This was Ken Hankey's.
Yeah. This one just separated itself, and it's, on my screen, like the print itself was pretty amazing, but on my screen, it's just like, it's color. He draws you through not only with where he's placing things in the frame and the composition and this little L shape that comes with the water and draws you up the mountain range, but the colors, like there's this great purple in it, and then the star, the galaxy is like this really cool pinky red, and it's just like those two colors together, I just think really separated this from some of the other astrophotography, and the way they had it the composition of it. Some of the astrophotography was amazing, but there was just like a little bit of a compositional thing, like it was too far over. It didn't quite flow as much as this one or something like that. So we're nitpicking. We had some amazing astrophotography, but this one just had everything: the color, the composition, just the interesting flow of it. So.
I shared the list with everybody on the call of the winners that you sent out, Alyssa.
You did? Okay.
Thank
Perfect. You. All right. So let's go into second place. To remind myself now.
Was Chuck's second place or was?
Yeah. Sorry, he was in the multi.
Oh yeah. We pulled this.
I had to go to a different folder.
So I just I love different, and this pulled me like the cool tones, the asymmetry of it a little bit with the textures, and then the fact that it's the moon. Like it makes a viewer, I believe, look at it and be like, take a second glance at it, like, is that the sun? And then you find out it's moon, and then you can take a different look at it. And I just really, really love it. And it's a stunning metal piece too. So, but that little line of smooth and texture, and then the repetition of the moon actually being a starburst with the texture, I just think it really worked as something a little bit different in astrophotography. So this is a great one by Chuck. Man, I can't remember third off the top of my head.
It was the
Tony's, yeah.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
Yeah, for some reason I can't pull down the award winners. Won't work on my computer for some reason. I don't know. It keeps beeping at me. So
it's in
Tony Lazzari.
Tony. And if I put we're stand out, like this is just a really nice photograph. Though I mean, it's one of those ones. It's a solid iconic photograph. And the one thing that I thought would have pulled this out a little bit, it might muted, and I just don't know. I mean, this is all circumstance and me as a judge, and I wanted it to be a little bit more vibrant and also add that person's personality, that vision to that. So it's like, but man, you walk in, this is you are drawn to it as a viewer when you first see it. It has that motion, that storytelling, everything about it. And I love where that cross is placed within the galaxy. I don't know if that was on purpose, but man, that makes a difference. So just great job.
Okay, so let's go to, all right. This is Carolyn Ryman's. This is the honorable mention one.
Oh yeah, yes. I just want to to me, it's props. Honorable mention is props for doing something that it's almost there. Like keep going, keep looking at this, keep following this path. I love this. I think it takes you like a couple seconds to figure out. You don't even really know what it is. I know the story behind it, but just as a standalone piece, I think there's something there, and I would truly explore this as a way to do astrophotography in a totally different way of speaking about astrophotography as a photographer. I think it's very interesting. So I think she did a great job with this. I think it's something to explore and continue to explore. So nice job.
All right.
Yeah, just like it feels like Star Wars and Star Trek and everything that I just love it. Every time I look at it, I get happy. So it's cool.
This is another one from Salvador Armendaris.
Cool. I mean, this is just, super solid, iconic photo of arches. I think it's just a little. I love it, and I hate nitpicking, you guys. This is so crazy. It's little tiny things. It's just a little bit over painted. That first half of the arch, I just want it to be a little more dramatic, and it had a little bit of noise to it. So like it's a super solid picture, but we're in a contest, and these little nitpicky things kind of add up when you're looking at all these photographs together. So yeah, I just feel like I want a little bit more dramatic. That one light is a little flat on it, and I just want it to be a little more dramatic, and then make a little more sense within the context of the picture itself. I mean, I feel like all the light is coming kind of from behind it, and it all makes sense until that flat piece of light is on it. So it's a beautiful photograph, but those are little nitpicky things. So.
Okay, so this one we're gonna see is this is Jim Miller.
Yeah, this is man, I mean, I can't even fathom the technical things that happen behind with this photograph. It is a beautiful, beautiful photograph. But when we're getting into things like this, I almost want it to be more abstract. I mean, it's a beautiful, amazing piece of technical photography. It's gorgeous, but I almost want it a little bit more abstract. Just play with the crop maybe a little bit, or just play with your vision of this. I mean, I keep kind of coming back to that. It's like, this is great. You took a picture of, like, I think this is a nebula. I'm not up to date on this, but what's your version of this? Like, this is great. We've seen this. This is beautiful. Holy crap. Tour de force and technical abilities, but I want to see your vision behind it. So that's, and it's a awesome piece for the collection. So beautiful job. How is this? Am I being, I'm being Erik, I'm sorry, but sometimes I feel like I'm a little too much, but hey.
Hold on one second. Okay, this is Sherpin seal.
Yeah. Yeah, this one, I love that fog coming up off of it, and the way fog in the back. That's just such an great added thing. It just didn't have the flow that the other ones that rose to the top had. It's like, and I know, I mean, I'm talking about this and saying, well, can you move to the left? It's like you have to move miles to the left. So it's like you lose things, but like that, I just love that added effect of the fog and everything. Just beautiful job. It just didn't have the flow that some of the other ones that rose to the top had. So.
All right. Okay, so I think we have hit everybody in astrophotography.
Okay.
Just double check through just in case.
Yeah, I wish this was working. I don't know why this is not working.
All right, so now I hit landscape. So I am gonna do something really quick here.
Interesting. Oh, the big category.
Yes. So just bear with me 2 seconds, guys, because I just want to, we've got quite a few that.
So yeah, I mean, some of you that don't know me, I want to become better as a photographer no matter what. So the last thing I want to do, I mean, this collection is it's the elevated version of everything that we got. But the last thing I want to do is pat you on the back for, you know, a medium level job. Like there's stuff that rises to the top instantly, you know it, and it's just like I'm wording this horribly, but I want to elevate my own photography, and I know the bar that you guys have, many of you have hit, and I expect you to jump over that bar every single time. And I'm never gonna say, "Nice job. This isn't your greatest work, but good job." You know, I want you to elevate. I mean, I think I'm putting that okay, but it's like critique is critique, and it's great for everybody. And I want to never come down on somebody, but I want you to understand why I saw it that way. And I think that's what we all want. It's we don't want people to go like, "Oh, nice job. That's a great photograph." We want to go like, "Oh, I love this about it, but man, what if you tried this? That's gonna like that would be like awesome. Like maybe we can try that or something like that." So that's kind of whenever I say something, that's where I'm coming from. So
All right, so this one's gonna be a little more challenging, so I'm probably not gonna be able to go first, third, but I'll call them out to you, Eric, as we get to those.
okay, great. Oh, thank you, Paul.
Who is who?
I just saw your chat. Thanks. What was that?
I said I'll remind you who is who as far as the first, second, and this one.
All right.
Okay. So this is Andre Braun.
Yeah. Yeah, this was in the multi, wasn't it? I think, or I can't remember.
Yeah, so
okay.
It was, yeah, we were looking at it between portrait and landscape.
Yeah, this is just a great piece of documentary photography. It's, you know, wonderful job. It just had a couple of little technical things that didn't push it to the upper echelon, but it's a beautiful, great, amazing documentary, environmental portrait / landscape / I think those were the two that it was in. It's just a wonderful photograph. They did a beautiful job. So.
This is Tim Canfield.
Yep. And this, to me, is what landscape photography is all about to me. It's just sitting there and waiting for something amazing to happen in this composition that you have, and then a fog rolls through, and it's just a beautiful addition. I mean, this would be a landscape photograph, and then all of a sudden, like this fog rolls in, and it makes it into a landscape image. It's like a piece of artwork. All of a sudden, it just has this emotion. It added. That's what makes it. Sorry, my pizza's here. That's so that gives that storytelling piece, that emotional piece to it. So that's patience, I feel like, paid off for this photographer, being there, patience, and this knowledge and skill to capture it. So this is beautiful.
Okay. This is Bob Corson.
Yeah, this is great. I love what Bob did with how really bringing us to where he wants us to be as an image maker, taking us by using just bright and light and shadow and color to really bring us into this. It's a beautiful photograph. It's such a great part of the collection. So, I mean, it just didn't resonate with the emotion that some of the other ones that rose to the top did. So it's nitpicky, but yeah, it's a beautiful photograph. I love what he did with this though. Just.
This is Joy Gottschall.
Mm-hmm. This is another one where it's just patience and timing and skill to capture that all kind of paid off. And it just has this great uh, painter like paint. It's one of those photographs you have to kind of take a look at and be like, hey, is this a painting or a photograph? But I love that. And then that just weird, crazy looking cloud at the top of it. It just made it something interesting to kind of put a exclamation point on it, basically, which it looks like an exclamation point. But yeah, color, tone, and the way they framed it and how everything just sweeps you up into that little almost smokestack. So it's a really stunning piece, and the way she framed it too is pretty cool too. So it was a she, right? Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep,
thank
correct.
you.
Mhm. All right, this is Ken Henke.
I mean, this is the one thing that's difficult about contests. This is a stunning, like really breathtaking photograph. But as photographers, I've been there. I've taken that photograph. Um, I want to see. I mean, it's so beautiful, but I want to see some kind of a vision taken on upon it. I want you to exert style and vision upon it and who you are and stuff like that. It's such a great photograph. And I'm not, I hate talking about, I hate talking in front of other photographers about their photographs. This is crazy. It's so weird. But I, it just want it to be a step above what we as photographers and truthfully viewers of photography have seen. And I just want that one step. It is a stunning, absolutely awesome piece of the to the collection. But that was the one thing I just wanted a vision, exert your vision upon it. So yeah, nice job, beautiful photograph.
Dan Lukes.
Nice. Yeah, it has that one thing that I'm looking for. It's like has emotion and storytelling, and it's just such a great simple little photograph with just these cool tones from the rocks and the moss and everything and then these nice little pieces of yellow. And then also I loved that their leaves are on the ground, kind of following you out of the frame down below. It's just like a really beautiful capture, a moment in time captured, and it reads that way to me. It's like this brief moment of storytelling, and I love it. Like just the fact that there's not leaves on some of it's like this right before everything falls off. So I just really like it. It has this tension to it that is really beautiful. So
Okay, this is Raj Manakam.
nice. I love things like this. It's all the things I talk about: storytelling, something a little different. But man, I loved looking at the print because it has so many. It could be somebody's vein. It could, somebody like it could be a piece of meat with a vein on it, and then you start looking at it, you're like, oh my god, it's a crack in the ice, and it's not only has it cracked, but it froze back over, and it has bubbles in it, and then it looks like a tree, and then all the leaves on it. I mean, it just has these multi layers of just coming back to it. It's like one of these. It's a simple yet dirty frame, so like it's a simple subject, but man, it has so many layers of story to it and interest, and you can just keep looking at it and finding new little things in different corners of it. And I think that's a great photographer kind of seeing and looking and trying to exert their vision upon it and kind of. I mean, it's everything. Where they stood, how they stood, what they did, where they took it from, and stuff like that. It's a really nice frame. So I love this.
And Eric, this was third place
Okay,
in
yep.
landscape. This is Debbie McCullough.
This one I love. I mean, I love black and white. I love emotion. This one immediately evokes loneliness and like just desolate, and it's great. I think maybe a little crop or even really playing with the tones. I like this ice blue tone. I mean, it's just, there wasn't something, it just needed a little bit of a something to elevate it. It's a beautiful, beautiful photograph, but it needed a crop or something to really bring it up a level. I play with your tonalities. This is a great tonality, but I think it would be cool to really play with the blacks and the whites and make it really just jump off of that, off the can, or it was on a metal. So just jump off that metal. You're using metal, so really just be bombastic a little bit, because this black and white would just jump, I think, if it had a little bit more tonal range between these whites, because you get kind of trapped in some of these other pieces that are up close, and I just want it to be, it's already desolate, it's already very lonely. Make it even lonelier with the tonality of it, because it feels too, the print itself felt too monotonish. It really didn't pop as much as I wanted it to. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous photo though. Man, I love it.
And this is her second one.
Yeah. This is another one that I got really excited about playing with color theory and seeing something that's just like, it transcends a little bit of landscape. It's like this beautiful piece of color theory with all these tones, and then this really white, like the ice really popping off of it. So it has these different views. It can be looked at as different things. It's like the ice could be, it just makes it look like something else than what it is. And I really like that. So, but man, great vision of seeing something so subtle and so beautiful. And like emotion can come from a bombastic, amazing, iconic photograph, but it also can come from this really subtle, monochromatic tone, color that they have, and then just a pop of white. It's really interesting. So nice job.
This is Oz Heppinger.
Yeah, this one, man, I love it. It took me a second. And it took me about 2 or 3 times of looking at it to be like, what is this? And then all of a sudden I saw all the birds and I was like, oh my God, like it's one of those really fun adventures to take in photography. And I love the way you framed it and the colors. But it just, yeah, it's just a wonderful photograph. So yeah, it takes you a second. And I love photographs like that. So nice job.
This is Neil Pearman, I think, right?
Yep.
Pearman.
This is another one. I love what you're doing. I feel keep going in this direction, man. This could be such an amazing series. And I love the vision that you're starting. I feel like this is a starting point for me, and I really, really enjoy what you're doing. And I feel like explore this, because man, the textures, the tones that you're creating with your black and white is really, really interesting. Really play with those shadows, because that's going to be, I think that's the thing that's going to separate what you're trying to do, is where those shadows are, how you're using those shadows, how you're using that light and dark. I want to be drawn back into that crevice back there, and I didn't feel like I was getting sucked back into that frame as much as I wanted to. But yeah, man, keep going with this. This is beautiful. I love what you're doing. So
And this is the first place and best of show. This is Stephen Pulver.
Yeah, this one, man, just emotion, power. The tones on the print itself were really, really stunning. I loved how the composition, and like their blacks were black and crispy, and the whites were super, super polar. So it added to the story that we're seeing. And then just that feeling. I mean, how hard is it to capture a photograph that actually shows emotion and power, and like, man, those clouds are slamming, you can feel it. And I love that. That's super important in photography for me. And I can feel the emotion and the power, and I can almost see the motion, even though this is completely still. So it's really, really cool. So nice job.
And this is Dale Ralph.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love quirky. I love interesting. I love that they look like eyeballs. It's crazy. It pops so great in our collection. Like people, I mean, people are gonna love looking at this. It's so cool. Great vision by Dale. I mean, to see this. I mean, I can't imagine walking through a bunch of trees and all of a sudden seeing this two eyeballs popping out at you. That's great vision. So she did a great job with the tones. I just really like this. It's a fun piece. Yay, Chucky.
We already went over yours, Chuck. Sorry. So this is Jane Richards. This is
Yeah.
the stock.
Second place, right?
Second place, correct.
Yeah, this is another. You walk in the room and it just jumps off the wall. Like it's just not only the asymmetry and symmetry that's going on with the reflection and the rocks and just like really interesting placement of everything. But where the birds are, man, nice job. Like, wow, just like, patience, waiting for those things to line up and stuff like that. And then on top of that, using a really interesting palette that we're not used to at Sunset. Like that's the other thing that really separates this, I think. Because usually in a Sunset, we have a little blue or a little red or something like that. But this is like just a beautiful kind of monochromatic yellow and orange and everything. And then that strip of fog going across the middle, that's these little things add up to something powerful. And that's what really, and then on top of that, emotion, the power of the ocean, the subtle fog, really, it's a weird juxtaposition of like strength and power and then really kind of calming almost. It's really interesting. I like it. So that was nice job on second place. So
This is Mr. Bruce Ryman.
And man, this ticks so many boxes, but it just needed something more to it. It's hard to explain, you guys. It's really tough to explain these little tiny things. But man, it ticks all the boxes: emotion, power, like, emotion and motion and stuff like that. It just needed a little something, not really, a crop here or there, or really going in and giving me just a couple highlights on the fog on the lower right hand of it, like that little arc. I just want a little more texture to it and level of depth in it and stuff like that. It's just these little things to draw me up into this bright spot. But man, keep going. This is beautiful. So I want to see more.
This is Dana Smith.
Yep. Nice job, Dana. This is another one where, like, man, great job seeing things. I mean, just walking on a path and all of a sudden where you placed everything, the composition, where you're leading me with your eye. And that tells a story alone for me. The emotional bit of clouds up in the corner, it's like this nice dichotomy of two different textures going against each other and three or four different textures. But yeah, just that placement of where you put everything, that sweeping arc that takes me way back into the back and gives me that sense of depth into the photograph. So this is beautiful. I think maybe playing with your color theory a little bit would be fun, because those oranges and reds and everything are really cool, but that grayness doesn't really complement those oranges and reds as much as I want it to. So it might be something to play with. So
Mrs. Rand Smith. This was one of the honorable mentions.
Honorable mention, yeah. Man, I love this. And this, the unfortunately on my screen, it doesn't quite have the impact that the actual print does, but it still has that storytelling quality, that loneliness, where you have placed every single bright line in this photograph is great. I mean, this is well thought out. And then to wait and capture this person in this pose, and it just has if there were arms like out or any other appendage out, it just wouldn't have the same feeling. And I think this was a great choice. It just has that loneliness to it and that lost kind of feeling. And then the ripples coming off the edges with the wind and stuff. It's just great capture.
one more in landscape. It's just in another file. Oh, I think actually that's it in landscape. All right. Moving on to portraits.
Yeah. Yeah, and this, I guess we did HM on this, but man, I want to see landscape move in this direction with storytelling. I think that's why I'm kind of putting it up there. I just want landscape to be like this, like it's cool. I want story. I want other things in landscape, and that's just me. I want to push in a different direction. So.
We're starting off. This is Ron Cooper. His was first place in portrait.
Place. Yeah. Yeah, and this is really great. I mean, it's one light, it's beautifully done, great tones, just the quality of it was really excellent, but the choices as a portrait photographer you make are always very subtle and very small, but it would be incredible to have the model's eyes staring at you, but man, does it change the story with just a subtle, that closing of the eyes and the cracked makeup and then the faux tears. It just adds to the story. I think it was a great choice to do it this way. And just a beautiful subtle light to it and great tones. I think it just is super powerful, and it really jumps off the wall when you see it in person. So great job.
This is one of Ron's as well.
Yep, just continuing his documentary style. I think it's great. One light, beautiful job. It says a lot. You also get to explore this person's face and the culture and everything. Just every little piece of time that this person has spent on the earth is seen in this photograph. It's really, really, really cool. Nice job.
And his last one.
Yep, another beautiful, wonderful. I mean, just the control. I don't even know if this could be in somebody's home on the side of a mountain someplace, of them just standing in the doorway and the light is controlled. That's beautiful. It could be in a studio or it could be on location. I don't know, but man, it's wonderful. And I think the one thing about this one that we were like, I really wanted was that I love the juxtaposition of the child's face and her face, but I just needed that one little tiny moment with her face that just separated it, like that storytelling. It's just a little too soft. It's a little too on camera and stuff like that. That's the one little nitpicky thing about this one, but everything else is beautiful. I love it.
This is Lisa Downs.
Yeah, all the animal photos were brilliant because you know how hard it is to get emotion out of animals? It's like so hard to do. And this one really did it. I mean, I'm stunned by just being covered in frost alone. But then that just like, I mean, to me, I'm seeing like power, but also I'm freezing my ass off at the same time in those eyes. So it's like, I just really love this photo. And also just pops of yellow, really nice control of color and within this kind of very bland kind of setting that has no color. So really nice job controlling that. Should we admit, sorry, there's somebody that's trying to get in the room. Should we admit this person? Rand Smith?
Yes.
Okay.
Bruce, can you do that?
Yep, there you go. Thanks.
This is
nice. Yeah, nice, Janine. I just read your thing. That's great.
Pauline Fortuna. This was third place?
I think it's third or second.
Second.
Okay.
No, third place.
Third place.
No,
okay.
It is. Yep, portrait.
But yeah, portrait photography. Oh man, nice job. I love it. This is the look. That's the little quirky look in the. I mean, you have to really wait for this and be patient and really work with your model. It's just that tiny little. I love it. It's all storytelling, and the way you have the model posed, the nice cut of the dress to like really shape not only the arm, it's a really interesting shape to the body and stuff. And then the flower headdress, the little quirky little lean to it, I love it. I heard the story about how you created it, so I love it even more after hearing that story. And after we picked everything, I heard about it, and it's just great. I love, 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 love everything. Just tour de force and lighting. Beautiful job.
Okay, this is Pauline's second one.
Nice. Yeah, nice job on lighting. I just feel like I want to maybe play around with that. I'm not sure if it's another layer or an overlay or what was going on, but having her in that overlay, like somehow kind of maybe having a little bit of the overlay over the back, that the thigh that's on the floor in the back, and then having it show me some depth, because right now it's really flat. Like I don't know what I feel like it should be punching forward to me, and it's not, like that overlay, the background effect. So I just love it. Nice job. Play around with the pose a little bit. I think she's a little bit too stiff, and just kind of really let the model go and see what happens. Like get your photo and then then collaborate with the model and see what happens, because you'll make dynamite, and just let her know what you're trying to do and stuff like that. It's hard. Portrait photography is tough, I know. And I'm being like circumstantial. I have no idea what was going on. It's like telling a landscape photographer to move 10 feet to the left and there's a chasm right there that they'd fall into. So like, yeah, but great job.
This is second place. This is rhino.
Yeah, another animal with like it's either very concerned and wants your safety, or could bite your head off in 2 seconds. So it's like it's so many different emotions going through this dog's eyes right now. So, but great lighting, beautiful, like just great capture, waiting for that 1 millisecond of that glint of emotion to it, and giving the animal a little bit of emotion. It's a great job. I love it.
This is Amy Sertek.
Yeah. I love everything that you're doing here. Beautiful pose, man. Beautiful pose. I think what kind of happened for me is that I get drawn out the door, and I miss her sometimes. Like if I'm just looking at it, I get drawn way up into that bright spot up in the top corner of the door. And I think it could use a little bit of a crop to it, but man, keep doing this. Gorgeous light on her. Beautiful, relaxed pose. I love how her legs are and everything. I love, love, love this photo. So nice job.
I think that's it in portrait.
Michael.
All right, still life. All right, this is first place. This is Chuck Roscoe.
Oh, and this is still life. Yep. Another, like, coming back to my favorite things, having emotion and a story in your photographs, and Chuck did a great job with this. It has so many, I mean, yes, we love to have the title leads us a little somewhere and stuff like that, but that's the great thing about this photograph, is that it has so many meanings to it. You can walk up to it, and your life, you kind of project your life into it and what it means to you right then and there. And that's what is so great about photography and art in general. Of like, yes, the purpose of this photograph for Chuck was in a certain thing, but man, it resonates with so many different people and tells so many different stories. And that's really what I love about this. So just a great concept, great execution, beautiful lighting. So nice job, Chuck.
This is third place in
Yep.
still life. This is Phillips.
Yeah, and again, all these still lifes just had excellent execution. I love the choice of the quality of light, the color of light that you're using in this one, and then just like leaving like the little intricacies and like the little bubbles inside the other ones. I love that. I think that if it was completely uniform, it wouldn't have any character to it. And those little tiny things, the little bubbles in the bubbles and stuff like that. Some people go for perfection, and I think your choice to do this way was great. I love the angle that you chose and just the color tones and stuff. Nice job. Philip, was that Philip? That was Philip.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah, Philip Urbino. All right, and then this one was second place. This is Whitney's.
Nice. And again, coming back to it, especially with still life, great storytelling, wonderful storytelling. This would, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'll tell this story. This would have jumped to first place if you had really extended that storytelling piece to it. It needs one more element. And even if it's a shocking element, I know the story you're trying to tell, but people are sort of, they see it and then they kind of move on. You need that one more element of storytelling, and really more bullets would have been like, cover this in bullets, and then one more storytelling element to it. And I don't know, I mean, we kind of talked, I kind of expressed, I don't want to get into it, but I want you to take it one more step more to really put across the point that you're trying to make. I think it's a great expression that you've created here, and I want you to keep going with it. I think it's a great job. Just keep one more element. So.
I think that's it.
Cool.
I didn't miss anybody, right? If you're on the call.
Well,
Speak.
you're in charge of the pictures, Alyssa, so if we missed them, it's on you.
I know.
Your fault.
That's okay. Blame me.
That felt like everything. I'm not sitting here going like, oh wait, where was that one? I feel like that was everything. So
I agree.
Alyssa, do you have an update on when the video might be posted and when the if these images are going to go live and online on the website for the city?
Yeah, so I know, so the online gallery, I know Katie was working on that today, so I think actually that may be ready to go. And the booklet, I think we were just waiting on, I'm waiting on something from one of the arts commissioners. So hoping that's gonna probably just be able to go up and go live tomorrow as well. I have not heard back from Olivier yet from the video. I mean, we did shoot it on Thursday, so I know it's gonna take him a little bit of time, but I'm hoping I'll see at least maybe a first round tomorrow. But hopefully this will have that up this week for sure. So, but you can definitely go, and like I said, once everything's done, I'm going to obviously resend that out to everybody so they have the link. But if you feel you want to just jump on right now and go to the Lone Tree Arts Center website, you should be able to find that gallery space. But I'll definitely send a link that's direct to it.
I think Janine just put one up.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everybody. I appreciate your patience. Sorry we were a little late starting, but we made it through and no one died. So.
Do we want to do any questions? Are you good? Is everybody good? Or
any questions? Anybody got any questions? I'm not seeing anything in the chat right now. We'll give them a minute.
Yeah.
Any hand raising?
I see one person asked about Kathy Sneed's piece.
That wasn't, I don't think it was there. I don't think she dropped it off.
She decided to pull out.
Okay, so she wasn't able to physically drop an image off. Okay.
Which it's on the online, Alyssa.
Yeah,
that's why she asked.
Is it still okay? Yeah, I think Katie was trying to make edits. We had a few people who either just said they didn't respond. Like Fernando, I don't know if his is still up there or not, but I know she needed to take those down. But we'll get Kathy's off there too. So.
All right.
I just wanted to say real quickly on behalf of the Lone Tree Photo Club and that, thank you, Alyssa, for all the work that you put into this, and Erik for the judging. Fantastic selections you made. Everybody also for their entries in that. I was over there on Saturday afternoon and really, was amazed at what I saw up on the walls and that. So again, thanks for all your work, especially in a year like this that, the continual changes in terms of having to, the venue being closed and then doing everything online. I think you did a great job of putting that together in difficult circumstances. So thanks again. And for those also on the line, for those that aren't already members of the Lone Tree Photography Club, be sure to take a look at our website. We'll have some of this information out there on that as well. And looking forward to seeing when this thing comes out online.
Yeah, I think the video is going to be great. Erik did an amazing job for, having to kind of, off the cuff a little bit here and there with some things. So, but I think we've worked with Olivier before, and he's done some really awesome work for us. So I think it's going to be a really cool added piece for this year that people will be able to share, you know, on their social media pages or wherever you guys want to, obviously. And we know that people still aren't necessarily feeling comfortable about, you know, coming out into public quite yet. And, you know, I think Saturday it was great. I'm glad we got to see so many faces. I know there's a lot of people who couldn't necessarily make it. So we're definitely going to try to aim for maybe another weekend and maybe a couple weeks once we actually, the art center right now, I think we're planning to start having normal, at least 4 days a week during the week, whether that's Monday through Thursday or Tuesday through Friday, some more normal hours from like 10 to 2. But also maybe trying to find a weekend where we can even just do another truncated time where, you know, people can kind of come and flow through, and it seemed to work out really well. So, and we were able to, you know, keep everybody distance as well. So I think it was a safe way to see the show, and I think everybody should get a chance to see it in person if they absolutely can. Eric did an amazing job. So
you guys hung it.
You all did an amazing job. Photographs that we get to have up. So.
Okay, well, with that, I don't see any more comments, so we'll end the call. And thanks everyone for your time. Eric, Alyssa, thanks for joining, and we'll catch everyone at the hopefully next year in person.
Yes.
Thanks, Alyssa. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Take care.